General Hospital spoilers. Is Willow planning another baby, all to take Drew down? General Hospital spoilers gush. Willow Tate, Caitlin McMullen, and Drew Kane, Cameron Matheson, are man and wife now, and as some would expect, that may mean children are in their future. That being said, most of us have some questions about the plausibility of that, especially given Willow's history and her current plight. In addition, we now know that Willow isn't actually in love with Drew, but that doesn't mean she's not seeking to destroy the man the same way he destroyed her. Would she be willing to take that gamble with a child in tow, knowing she could lose this fight? It might not require the investment that you think. Clarity and cancer. Let's take a few steps backward here and recall that Willow went through a pretty severe cancer experience. While it was Liesl Obrecht's, Kathleen Gotti, bone marrow, essentially delivered by Drew, that ultimately saved her life, Willow also endured multiple other cancer therapies that could have rendered her infertile after she gave birth to Amelia Corinthos, Sequoia, and Serenity Mork-Mako. So, in short, we don't know if Willow can even get pregnant now, and she and Drew have never spoken of having more children. Of course, so much of the focus has been on trying to secure custody of the two she already has. Spoilers leak. History repeats itself. Speaking of Amelia and Wiley Corinthos, Viren Weaver, Michael Corinthos, Rory Gibson, has them under lock and key right now, and most of Willow's conversations with Drew about their future only mention Emily, Scout, Kane, Cosette Abenant, in them. If you recall, Willow first became mother to Wiley when Michael asked her to adopt him. She was a major player in the move to protect him from his biological mother, Willow's twin sister, Nellie Benson Jerome, Chloe Lanier. Could this time around be similar? Might Drew ask Willow to step it up and be more than Scout's legal guardian but her adoptive mother in light of Sam McCall's, Kelly Monaco, death? The final takedown. It could be part of Drew's plan to stick it to Alexis Davis, Nancy Lee Grahn, and the other Davis girls even more by signaling that he's wiping out Sam's memory a tad more. He's that type of guy. But given how quietly Willow appears to be setting the stage for payback, we suspect she could gleefully take on the role of being mom to Scout, just to stick it to Drew in the end. Willow doesn't have to get knocked up to break Drew's heart by taking his child away. She could just take Scout as soon as she finds the means to get him locked up, or worse. In the end, we'd like to think she would place Scout in Alexis' care if that were the case, but time will tell. What do you think Willow has up her sleeve? Share your thoughts in the comments, and stay tuned for more GH news and spoilers right around the corner. Willow Corinthos Quartermain had never expected her second chance at life to feel so fragile. After the bone marrow transplant, after her reconciliation with Nina, after finally marrying Michael the way they'd always envisioned, even with all the chaos of Port Charles swirling around them, she'd thought the hard part was behind her. She should have been healing, basking in the peace she'd worked so painfully to earn. But peace didn't last long in this town. Not when Drew Kane, her husband's once loyal uncle and friend, had begun to slip deeper into an obsession that shocked even Quartermain standards. In the weeks since his release from Pentonville, Drew had changed. Everyone saw it. The flash of anger behind his usually steady blue eyes, the shark-like smile that came just a little too easily, the way he spoke of opportunity like a general planning a war. To Willow, however, he was something far more dangerous. Because he knew too much. About her health. About her vulnerabilities. About Michael's darkest decisions. And lately, Drew had been using that knowledge as leverage. The threats were never direct. Never something she could run to Sonny or Carly or even Michael with. But she understood tone better than most. She'd survived a cult leader. She knew when a man had convinced himself that he was owed something. Drew felt he was owed everything. And Willow was becoming his newest target. Chapter 1. Whispers in the Halls of General Hospital. The scent of antiseptic used to terrify Willow. Now it grounded her. The hallways of GH weren't just where she worked, they were where she had been reborn. As she set a tray of records on the nurse's station, she caught sight of Drew at the end of the corridor. He wasn't visiting a patient. He wasn't even talking to a doctor. He was watching her. Their eyes met. His expression softened into something that made a chill crawl up her spine. "Willow," he greeted, strolling toward her with the relaxed confidence of someone who knew he'd be welcomed everywhere. "Got a minute?" She forced her voice into the kind calm she used with worried patients. Of course. But he didn't stop to stand and talk. He kept walking, expecting her to follow. She did. Drew stopped near an empty exam room and leaned back against the doorframe. You look tired. I'm adjusting to the new rotation, she replied. No, he said, studying her with unsettling intensity. This is something else. She had to steady her breath. Is there a reason you wanted to talk to me? He folded his arms. Michael's slipping. You feel it too. A warning bell rang inside her mind. What are you talking about? LQ is changing, Drew said. Michael's been distracted since your transplant. Soft. I need him sharper. Focused. If he can't be. Drew, she interrupted. He supported you through your darkest moments. He loves this family. You know that. I know what he used to be, Drew countered. But lately he's tied up. His eyes drifted deliberately to her abdomen. Her breath stopped. Can't be implying. Before she could speak, he leaned in just enough that only she could hear him. Another baby would snap him right back into place. Make him stable. Motivated. Hungry to protect what's his. A white-hot panic surged through her. Was this a threat? A suggestion? Or something far more twisted? She managed to whisper, "You're out of line." Drew gave her a cool smile. I'm just looking out for the family. But Willow knew the truth. This wasn't about family. It was about control. And Michael had no idea what was coming. Chapter 2. A Plan Takes Root. That night, Willow sat alone in the Quartermain kitchen long after the house had quieted. She wasn't supposed to have stress. Stress weakened her body, challenged her recovery, threatened everything she had fought for. But Drew's words gnawed at her. Michael had been worn down lately. Grief over Ned. Tension with Sonny. Managing ELQ. Worrying about her. She didn't want to add more weight onto him. But she also couldn't tell him the truth. He would confront Drew. Drew would retaliate. The family would splinter. And Willow, who had already been through too many wars, could feel that this one would get uglier. Her phone buzzed with a new message. Drew, we should talk again soon. Her stomach flipped. Another message followed seconds later. Drew, it would be easier for everyone if we agreed on the same future. A future? With another baby. A baby he thought he could use to manipulate her husband, or her. She closed her eyes. She could run to Carly. She could go to Sonny. She could even loop in Nina if she was desperate enough. But something far more reckless, a spark of bravery she didn't recognize in herself, whispered back at the fear.